There's power in a drum beat on a hill above the sea. Power in the voice of us the corner. But it all amounts to nothing. Together we don't sing. There's power when we're not noisy. Any day, go forever. Old town scenery. Valley and mountain, chaparral to the sea. And the colors of our rainbow, sunset, orange, Tory, green. There's power when we're not noisy. SC Lloyd, oh forever. Someday, North County. Desert to islands, get back on you and me. All our voices strong together. We cheer on our team.
Welcome to the Loyal Locals podcast. I am your host, Andrew Dyer, back at it for yet another week of mediocre soccer to celebrate with your San Diego Loyal. Another draw at home, one lonely point for a long night of soccer. First, I want to bring on our producer, John Cross. John, how are you?
Another mediocre week, huh?
The week has been good. It's a good week, but the soccer, mediocre. It's fine, which is fine, right? There's a lot, when you're in the middle of the table, that means that, yeah, sure. There are many places above you that you could be, but there's also lots of places below you that you could also be. So this is a glass half full podcast. I've decided literally just now that we're going long. We're going to be optimistic. And to help us with the optimism, one of the most optimistic people that I know, Nate Wiggins. Nate, how are you?
I'm good. Although, at times I can be optimistic, but at times I can be pessimistic, and I was certainly feeling pessimistic after that match against New Mexico, which I know that we'll get into. But you know what? Let's try and be positive vibes only. That's my goal.
Well, so if we're going to discuss the New Mexico game, it's going to be hard to stay positive. That's one of my main concerns here. But the positive thing, I think, was that, and before we jump into the game, we do have watch parties to talk about. We're going to get to that supporter stuff, but we have to. I feel like we all probably have a lot of pent up emotions coming out of Saturday, and we do want to get into this match a little bit. I know we all had a lot of thoughts after the game. Trying to share those thoughts when Torero Stadium security very uncharacteristically told us to get the fuck out of there. So that was a new experience for, I think, a lot of us. But all right, positive. Here's my positives. We scored 2 goals. And the first goal came, I don't know what minute it was, but it was very early. We might not even have been through the first chant when that first goal went in.
Yeah, I think it was like third or fourth minute. It was early on, which right. That's what you want when you're at home. Is you want an early goal to kind of get the crowd in it, get the energy up. And I felt like right after that goal, I felt like, okay, man, like we're gonna kick on. And I felt like, all right, this could be a match where we score 3-4 and, really, really kind of send a message to not only the rest of the Western Conference, but the rest of the league that, hey, we're about to hit our stride. But unfortunately, New Mexico equalized there right after.
Was it right after? When was it that they got? It was.
Yeah, it was the 8th or 9th minute. It was,
yeah.
By 10 minutes in, it was.
That took a lot of the energy out of the balloon.
Yeah. And then in the second half, we got another one. Went up 2-1 and then surrendered. Am I thinking of the... I'm sorry. I'm totally blanking. It was 2-2, right?
Yes.
Or was this game 1-1?
2-2 is the final, yeah.
Okay. The second half, maybe I wasn't all there. Okay, but New Mexico scored at the end of the match, right? They tied it at the
It was
end.
about 91st minute, I think. 90,
Okay.
91st.
In added time, yeah.
There's just been so many games where we've been scored on late that, when I try to remember, I'm like, wait a second. Was that New Mexico that scored on us late, or no? That was somebody. Oh no, it was both of them. It was several teams who scored on us late. So, I didn't rewatch the game. I'm going to admit that here first. So I don't have much of a tactical breakdown here. I did notice in the second half when Ronaldo Damos came in that it did seem like they made an effort to send some balls over the top to him, and there were a couple of kind of breakaways where he was able to work in space, and it really looked like they were going to put something together, but it just didn't come together. I feel like maybe some defenses have figured out that you have to put pressure on the USL officiating crew to call fouls, and it seems like they don't really want to do that too much. So if you just keep fouling and you just keep knocking Ronaldo Damas to the turf and you just keep doing it, they're probably going to call you for some of them, but they're definitely not going to call you for all of them. And it's been pretty effective in stopping what we want to do.
Nate, I'll let you respond first, and then I'll go.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, like I think that as per usual, the officiating left a lot to be desired, as it is, typically with the USL. But also, I think that there are, I don't know, like at times, I feel like I'm not really sure what we're trying to do tactically going forward, and especially after we got that second goal, it was like, okay, kind of like how after when we scored the first goal, I was like, all right, like let's kick on. Let's really really try and kind of go for the kill and try and kill it off. And I felt like like you said, we had a couple chances, we kind of scuffed them, and ultimately in this game, that's what comes back to bite you. And I know that I'm sure we'll talk about this as well. There was some controversy about that second goal that New Mexico scored, and was he onside? Was he offside?
But he was offside. Is there controversy here? He was clearly offside.
I went back and looked at it, and I thought it was close, but I thought he was on just barely. I mean, but again, you shouldn't put yourself in that situation.
Here's the thing. Is the league itself published they on Twitter/X. They put out the highlight of the offside. Like, it's on their Twitter account. They're like, oh, a late equalizer. Oh, we have a match in San Diego. And it's, when you watch it, the guy is clearly beyond the second to last defender when the ball is sent in. I mean, it's on video. Like, it's incontrovertible. I mean, it's just, he was off. And, you don't want to make that excuse where, the one whistle one way or the other is the difference in your match, right? But it is frustrating when that happens. But
never leave in anybody else's hands, though. You should take care of business so that it doesn't go into the thoughts of the referee.
If you want to beat a team that scores 2 goals against you, you should probably score more than 2 yourself, right? Like, we do have the theoretical ability to score more than they score. And that didn't happen. So yeah, I'm not, it was frustrating for sure, not getting that call. But at the same time, you look at the performance on the field, you look at the results that the team has been getting, and it fits what we've been seeing and what we've been complaining about all season long. And I've seen some of the conversation in Discord and elsewhere that we're still finding the right lineup and we're still coming together as a team. And I'm like looking at the calendar and I'm like, well, we've been coming together as a team for several months
now. I think what Nate Miller said in the post-game conference, he might have said it, or might have said it on 2 balls in a mic last night, but there are fine margins, right? And I agree with what Nate said, that the offside call is difficult for me to judge. It's hard to, I think with the angle we have, it's really hard to be certain, at least, we have that one camera at center field. It was certainly very close, but it was well played by New Mexico. I mean, it's great chest trap and set it up. Hardly any pressure on him though, as well. I mean, we made our own mistakes, and I think what Nate said is right. Is we need to. Well, I don't want to speak for the coach or anything, but I would like to see more going for the kill at the end, right? Just put that extra pressure on there instead of maybe sitting back and trying to protect the lead. And we were up 2-1. We really should have held on to that game, and we let in a great cross, whether it was offside or not, and it was a great chest trap and a well taken shot. I just wish we would have put a little more pressure on the defender as he was getting the ball there at the end, but we're still close. So even though we're 5th place, as you said, Andrew, early on, we have a few teams ahead of us. We have many more behind us, but it's tight. Look at Orange County, right? They were right near the bottom of the table and have gone on a tremendous 10-ish, 12-ish game run, and now they're sitting in 3rd place. Sacramento and San Antonio are kind of running away with the 1 and 2 spots right now as we're getting into the last third, a little less than a third of the season left. And we're just within a few points of Orange County and Oakland Roots, and we're tied with Oakland right now.
Let me ask you this. What has to happen in your mind for Loyal to go on a run like that at the end of the year? What needs to change, or what has to happen for a run of our own? Because I look at the roster, I look at what's happening on the field, I look at the tactics and the formation, and I don't see it.
I don't. This may not be a popular opinion here, but I think even on paper, we are not necessarily the strongest team out there. We have some good players. I think we have solid players, and we have players that are good people. And I know that's always what the team has gone for first. Good people who are also good soccer players. And I'm totally okay with that. I like that. But I think there are other teams, especially the ones that we see ahead of us, that have a couple of individuals on their team who are just standout players. We don't have a standout player. We have solid players, and we're a solid team. And when we all play well together, we do well, but we don't have that player. At least I don't see it on the team right now that can, carry everybody on their shoulders and they're going to win the game for you. Like
Kyle Adams.
County. Well, yeah. Right. We don't have that goal scoring threat like Vassell last year, right? Yeah. Who, if he wasn't scoring, he was occupying defenders and freeing up other people. But we don't have a super, I won't say solid, a fantastic kind of center midfielder attacking midfield. I don't know.
I thought we did, but we've been playing him at fullback. Evan Conway, right? He's a pretty good striker, but he's playing a completely different position. We also have Ronaldo Damas, who's a very effective, very fast player who is not on the field very often. I mean, when he is on the field, we struggle to utilize him in the way that he, maybe is best utilized. I think he really gets like manhandled out there. Defenders really just like throw him down. Like he does get knocked down regularly, and I think he should probably get more calls than he does. But I don't know. I don't have the answers, obviously, but I feel like the personnel is here. I feel like we do have the players, certainly in the attack. I think the back line, defense has never really been our strong suit. And the back line is people are going to get through and they're going to score. But, if we score more, we still win. And I feel like we do have the talent on the offensive side of the ball. It's just teams are, there's tape, right? There's tape on Loyal. There's tape on all of these players. There's tape on everything we want to do. And when we try to do those things, these teams are ready, and we haven't that adaptability in the game planning and in the formation and in the tactics. I don't feel like we are, when teams come out prepared to defend against what we want to do. I don't know if we have the change and the switch in our approach to counter those. I don't know. I would think that there would be changes as we continue to frustrate ourselves with these draws and losses at home.
Yeah, but it's New Mexico. We always draw New Mexico.
Oh man, this is like always losing to Oakland. I just don't believe in that stuff. I don't believe in serendipitous wins or losses. Like, we always have to lose to Oakland, and we always have to draw this team. I don't. We should have beat them. We really should have. The momentum,
especially given to where they're at in the table, and they're coming to our place like that. I'm sorry, that's a game that you have to win.
We had a great crowd. The hurricane is coming. Like, there was a real energy.
People were there
in the stadium. It was a lot of fun. New Mexico came out. Shout out to them. They came through and hung out pregame, and I believe they hung out postgame as well. Some of them did. They travel really well, and they're one of those supporters, those fan bases that we love to have in Torero. So it was a great atmosphere Saturday night, and it really would have been. The conditions were right. Everything, all the pieces were there. We just didn't have the result.
Right.
Okay, we're going to be positive now. I know. So, in better news, we are not at home this weekend. We are going on the road. What is in store for Saturday?
We're playing RGV, and we'll be playing away. RGV is sitting just like New Mexico when we played them. We're just a hair below the playoff line. That's where RGV sits, because with the tie last week, New Mexico dropped slightly, so RGV jumped ahead of them. So they're sitting in that 9th position. So once again, we're going to be playing a team who's fighting to get into that last playoff position.
Do you remember the last time Loyal went and played in the Rio Grande Valley? A player literally came out of retirement to score on us at the end of that match. It was or send in a ball, I think. I can't remember the player's name.
Scored.
But I do remember losing that game at the very end on a guy who was like 38, 39, or 40. It was pretty remarkable.
Didn't he set the record? The oldest player to score in the USL Championship, I believe.
Everywhere we go, we set records. It's just that kind of club. But that stadium. I mean, that is an away trip, because I think there's an airport in Brownsville, but that's pretty far from there. I think there's one in Harlingen, but you're connecting at least once or twice before you can fly in there. Not an easy place to get to, and it is a great soccer community. I know in Texas they have their own little rivalry with San Antonio and El Paso. They have like some Texas little trophy that they give out between those three teams, but it is a fun place to play, and it's only our second time going there, so should be a good match to watch.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a place where I feel like we've had some performances that again leave a lot to be desired. And again, like John's saying, that's going to be a desperate team that's fighting for playoff positioning. And so, at this point, it's almost like the standings don't matter. Like, you have to bring your A game every single week. And like you're saying, Andrew, that's not an easy place to travel to. I'm sure that the guys are going to be tired from connecting flight after connecting flight, but I hope that they come in focused and ready to go, because these matches are, I'm not worried about our playoff position per se, but it's matches like these that could determine whether or not we are at Torero for our playoff game or have to go on the road for our playoff game. So, it's at this point, every point, no pun intended, matters.
Yeah, I think that the home playoff game is still definitely in play. I think playoffs it would take a catastrophic nosedive for us to miss the playoffs this season. I
Although
think that
we haven't ended the last 2 seasons well, so that's that is something to be slightly concerned about.
that's true. I do have optimism though. I am pretty positive about this, you know, in spite of recent evidence and what we've seen. I do think that like I said, I do believe that this team is a team capable of beating anybody. They've shown that. They've shown it this year that they're capable of it. It's just a matter of, uh, you know, when the other team is either whether they're doing a high press, if they're knocking you down in the front, if they're whatever it is that they're doing to counter what you're doing. Like I feel like we have to have that second option. We have to have that relief valve, something, a plan B or even a plan C when that starts to happen. John, we were talking before the show. There are competing watch parties for this match. So it's an earlier match as well because we're in Central Time Zone. And where are folks getting together to watch it?
Right, it's going to be 5 o'clock kickoff Pacific time, so make sure you plan accordingly. There are 2 official watch parties that the club is doing. The first one is going to be at Gossip Grill in Hillcrest, and then the second one's going to be at Home and Away in Old Town. So either one of those are options if you want. We also have our normal options, Cabarrus if you're in the South Bay, Fair Play, although I think the Wave are away. I think there's a Wave watch party at Fair Play as well. So you might want to double check on that. And then Northern Pine up on the coast. But the 2 official ones are at Gossip Grill and Home and Away. We are promoting and encouraging people to go to Gossip Grill, but I believe, and you may want to double check, I know there was some conversation about this in Discord. I believe Gossip Grill is not really identified as a kid-friendly place, as an adult-only place. I think during the day at different times they allow kids, but as it gets to the evening, then kids
This is a
not
great
allowed
opportunity.
there.
Get a sitter. Get dressed, hit the town, come to Gossip Grill. You don't want to bring the kids there anyway. You don't want them kids at the watch party anyway in normal days. But this one, you got this. You got this. Get the sitter. Do your hair a little bit and come on out. And I will say about Home and Away, we tried to do watch parties at Home and Away as the SG, and it didn't go so well. Didn't really prioritize us, even though whenever they said, "Yeah, you're welcome here," wasn't a great experience, and I think that was abandoned very early in the season. Was that last year or the year before?
I think it was last year. Yeah.
So take that for what it is.
Yeah. So it just for full disclosure for anyone, because I know there are a lot of people who bring their kids. So just to make sure you double check or make other plans or
get a sitter.
Watch at home, right? You can always watch at home as well, but it's a lot of fun to come out and watch it with everybody else.
The only time I've ever been to Gospel Grill, it was not a kid friendly. They were not sort of letting kids in there because I'm pretty sure it was like 10:30 or 11:30 at night. And the reason why I say pretty sure is because I had quite a few beverages before I got there. So
yeah, so just for full disclosure for everyone for this week, but that is part of the club's ongoing Pride celebration for this month is why they're having it at Gossip Grill as well. But I think they did the Home and Away since Gossip Grill is not kid-friendly as it gets later in the evening.
Yeah, so we did have the basketball jersey drop, and I think they posted something online. There was a very limited amount left as of, I think that was this morning. John, did you end up getting your jersey?
No. I think we mentioned it before. That is not my my style. Like usually only around the house am I wearing short sleeves. I'm always long sleeve shirts because of my skin cancer issues. But Nate and Andrew both, I know you guys are both basketball fans. Did you guys pick up the basketball jersey?
Yeah, anyone here knows I'm a big hoops guy, but I unfortunately did not pick up the basketball jersey on Saturday. I was there at the game with a couple other friends, and we were just trying to all get our stuff together and making sure everyone was in the right place pre-game. So unfortunately, I was unable to pick up the jersey before the game. What about you, Andy?
I really like the jersey, but I just bought the Pride jersey, and so it was kind of tough to justify the expenditure on the heels of another one. Uh, but I mean, shout out to the shop for. I mean, this year has been just really incredible with what they've come out with.
Yeah.
The kits have been great. The corduroy hats have been cool. And then now the basketball jersey and a rumored baseball jersey that also looks very cool from what has been out there. They've been doing a really, really great job.
Yeah, they did the collab with Willie Santos with the
skateboard
decks as well. Yeah, so they've really done a good job with the merch this year. And I know because I saw a picture of it. Of course, we all know who did get one was Paul Naku, because I don't know how he affords all the stuff he has. He buys everything that's out there.
He's got a second job, I think, at night. He just works a second job just for buying merch, right? His merch budget is all from that second gig.
But yeah, shout out to Paul, because he does, and he's got a phenomenal collection of jerseys. I mean, just not even Loyal, but he has, I think, everything Loyal has put out, if I'm not mistaken. In addition to a bunch of other things. Every once in a while, if you haven't seen, he'll lay out some of his stuff and take some pictures, but he does have a phenomenal collection.
Oh, I also want to shout out the supporters Rocket League team, who was in the semifinals last week and won their match against I think it was the Emerald City supporter group. So they move on to the finals, looking very dominant in that series against Emerald City. I am very biased because I'm related to one of the players, but I did watch the stream, and it was very entertaining, and it can be intense. It is a lot of fun if you're not a person who has watched like Rocket League or esports or whatever. Rocket League is a really fun one to watch because it can be very competitive and it can be very stressful, as we all know soccer can be. But keep an eye on Discord and socials for when the finals are, because that will be streamed on Twitch. They have, I don't know who these folks are, but they have people commentating during the match. There were times when they brought on the communications from the team so you could listen in to what the teams were saying to each other during the match. So they do make it seem like a broadcast, and it is very watchable.
Yeah, and to tag on to that just a little bit, there will be other seasons moving forward, and I know that the locals have been looking to try to put 2 teams together for next season. So if you're interested in helping out, contact KJ on Discord, and keep an eye out for when the finals are going to be. So Andrew, you don't know when the finals are going to be?
I don't know.
You know someone on the team,
but the person that I know on the team is 15 years old, and he doesn't always like check his messages and check his Discord. They have like their own Discord for this thing. So like, I don't know if I'm the one that had to tell him that the semifinals were happening. I'm like, dude, you know that they're playing right now, right? And he's like, oh, let me go. Like, bro, what are you doing, man? So yeah, he's like all concerned with school and homework and stuff. Like, bro, you're a gamer. You're supposed to be keeping an eye on things, man. Priorities.
Gamer and a goalie. Who cares about school?
No, well,
did you guys
yeah.
also see that USL did their partnership with? Oh, now I gotta look it up because I forget. With Rival for their eFootball tournaments. I don't know how many people play eFootball, and I don't know if that's something we're going to look at trying to get people to enter. But they're doing the USL along with Rival are doing a big tournament that starts this week, I believe. Might have been today, actually. I'm trying to remember what the dates were. I know the mobile one, if you do it on a mobile device, starts on Thursday. But there were signups on USL and some prizes for the tournament they were doing. So I don't know if we're going to look at trying to get people to participate in that at all.
Dylan's in the chat saying the final should be this week, Thursday or Friday. It's kind of fluid. These teams have to like schedule their matches amongst themselves and whenever people are available. So there you go.
So keep an eye on that for Thursday or Friday. I have one final question for both of you, because we had a supporter come down, or I guess an extra local from Calgary, Canada. Did any of you guys meet Conrad who came out? Because I know I gave him a couple of tickets on my end since I couldn't make it. So I know he was trying to come with a couple of people, but did you guys get a chance to meet him?
Yeah, we had a wonderful discussion about Saskatchewan. So I'm very interested in. I know very little about Canada, but I did throw all of my Canada knowledge at him, including my awareness of the existence of the dressed Doritos, which apparently are incredible, and it's a flavor you can only get in Canada. The fully dressed Doritos. So we bonded over our knowledge of very specific snack foods.
And what exactly is that flavor for someone who's very ignorant of this?
I don't know. Is fully dressed Doritos. I don't know what the flavoring is. I've never had them. I just know they exist. I didn't get a chance to bring up my love of Much Music or the Matthew Good Band. So I do have some more Canadian bullets in the gun for the next time I run into anybody from Calgary or, Vancouver, Toronto, or whatever the other three Canadian cities are.
Are those fully dressed Doritos? Are those like something that someone can bring back to the United States? Because my parents are actually in Montreal right now, and shoot them a text and be like, "Hey, can you please bring these back when you come back?"
Absolutely, do it.
All right, thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, they were at Coronado, so hung out a little bit before the match. There was some scarves exchange and all that.
I'm trying to look up these fully dressed Doritos to see what it is exactly.
Yeah, they even have their own money
coming
up there.
With all kinds of other things. I didn't know they had spicy pineapple jalapeno.
Oh wow!
Oh, there we go. That's like that's like my favorite pizza toppings. You ever get a jalapeno pineapple pizza? Let me tell you, that is like that's like the secret code to like. Yeah, it's great. It's a great combo. Highly recommend.
All right, I don't think I have anything else as far as locals news. I think we hit everything.
Complained about the team. Yeah. Do we want to do some more of that, or are we all? We could complain about the security guy that kicked us out of the stadium. It was very strange.
So okay. I mean, I don't if you have to harp too much on that, but I as soon as I saw things were getting a little heated, I was like, I'm just gonna bounce. Like I don't want to be part of this. Like clearly things were getting a little tense. So I left maybe like 30 seconds after he first told everyone to get out. I was like, you know what? Boom, I'm out of here. Like I ain't trying to be a part of anything. But I don't know. Like, was there anything else that happened after that, or what was his reasoning? Because in the past,
I mean, it was, I don't know. I think he was freaking out about the storm. He was saying that it was the county, not the club, that was doing this, but it was just like, we kind of, we go to the stadium every week, sometimes twice a week. After the match, you're tearing down, you're putting stuff away, you're getting things together, you're talking about where people are going afterwards. There's a little bit of, if we win, there's one conversation, and when we lose or draw, there's another conversation. Just conversations that are happening. It's kind of it's just normal, right? During teardown, that people stand around. Usually there are folks even helping clean up. They'll pass the trash can around, and we kind of help clean up our own section even. But he was just being really aggressive, and kind of being rude. Being rude, and just saying, hey, y'all need to get out of here, you need to go, everybody, y'all need to leave. Just saying, there's a storm coming. We gotta get everybody out of here, you all gotta get out of here. Just really just intense and aggressive. And I think folks don't respond to that kind of communication very well. If you look at conflict resolution and how people communicate, that's not always the most effective way to get a group of people to do what you want them to do.
Especially a group of people who are mad because they just gave up a 90th minute equalizer.
Yeah, and also, like, we do leave the stadium, and we have our egress system kind of down, and we leave, and we're never the last people in the stadium. There are always people in the main stands getting autographs, as there were Saturday. There were lots of people. There were people on the field kicking goals. All of the normal kind of post-game things that other fans get on with were happening. But for some reason, there was one person over with the supporters that was essentially kicking us out of the stadium, just aggressively kicking us out of the stadium. So yeah, it wasn't cool. And it was kind of funny later when we didn't have much of a hurricane or tropical storm, and we were all thankful that we got out of that stadium 12 hours ago. But yeah, you want to keep a little bit of perspective. It's probably not an easy job dealing with people working in a stadium, so a little bit of empathy. But yeah, it wasn't fun being on the other end of it.
All right, so I guess maybe a quick question for you guys before we go, because we just finished a 5-game homestand where we took 5 points, I believe. Not the homestand we had hoped for. We go away to RGV. We come back for Birmingham, which is going to be a tough match. They're a Sunday match, right, and on Labor Day weekend. So we know how we love those. Then we got 4 games away. We jump back. We have, after the Birmingham match, we only have 3 more home matches. Everything else is away. So what is that? 5.
So
I guess
here's
3 at home, 5 away.
Here's the thing about away matches: we're not winning at home either. So away, at home,
we've actually done better this year away.
It's not that
previous years.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not too concerned about being on the road versus being at home. It's been disappointing at home, and we've given away games that we should have won. So, maybe being away, sometimes it's good for the guys to get away, and you're in a bubble, and you're kind of, it's you against the world. You're in a hostile stadium. Hey, you get to be the spoiler. You get to be the person that makes their supporter group, stop singing. So maybe that's what they need. Maybe I'm not too concerned about it, especially since we're not taking care of business at home. Maybe we can do it on the road.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely have some apprehension going forward in terms of, definitely disappointment with this homestand. And, I felt like, the energy in the stadium, at least from us, was always there. And, it's disappointing when, you come and you bring that energy and you're not able to get the result that you want to get at home. But I also agree with you, Andrew. Maybe just kind of being away a little bit can, take a little bit of the pressure off. But again, it's like, okay, because we did not deliver the way that we needed to at home, now that puts pressure on you to get results and wins away from home. And to me, it's like, it would have been nice to, take care of more business at home, give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, as opposed to now it's like, all right, like I was saying earlier, it's going to be a sprint. It's going to be a grind to the finish. And I think it's going to say a lot about the character of this team in terms of, okay, you've hit some adversity. You've been, punched in the face a few times. Are you going to punch back or are you going to fold? And I hope for their sake that they do punch back. I believe that they have the talent to, and now we just gotta see it happen on the pitch.
I've seen players on this team. I'm thinking specifically of Thomas Conway and what's his name? No, I'm really blanking on somebody. Who's the other person that's been scoring goals? Perez. Okay, thank you. So these three, I feel like, have been the energy players when things are not going our way. These are people that have kind of shown effort and been able to break people down and been able to get, maybe the shots aren't going in, but able to get up and get some shots up. So, I've been saying it this whole episode, but like, the personnel is there. It's just a matter of getting them in the position to succeed and to win these matches. I think that these are potent attackers. We struggled last year when we lost Nick Moon. We lost Nick Moon again this year, and same thing. It's affected the attack, and I think with Perez, there was a couple matches where it seemed like he wanted to step into that role, that spark plug role, where he was very aggressive and really forcing the action. And I'd like to see some more of that from him, because when he was playing with that mindset and being really aggressive, I think we had really good results.
Perez definitely has that dog in him, and it's there's been times this year where I feel like he's he has been that guy that has carried us, like John was talking about earlier. But it also should not be reliant on one or two guys to carry the team. You got 11 players on the pitch, and it should be everyone should have that dog in them and come with that attitude and bring that energy every single match day.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we had Jeff added this in the comments, and we certainly control our own destiny with respect to playoffs and home playoff games. So 10 games left, right? We're going to go on a 10-game run here, take all 30 points, right?
Hey, you know what?
It could happen. Roll our way into the playoffs.
Until it doesn't happen, it's possible.
Okay?
There we go.
Sir.
Okay, so John, remind us again, watch party locations and times.
Yeah, so 5 o'clock kickoff. So plan your time accordingly for when you want to get to any of these places, but either at Gossip Grill in Hillcrest or Home and Away in Old Town. Those are the two main watch party. The one's done by the club, but we as the locals are pushing the Gossip Grill. But if you're in South Bay and you can't make it up further north, hit up Caburros, or if you're North County Coastal, go to Northern Pine or North Park area. You could also hit up Fair Play. Those are always good options if you want to go watch the match.
All right, Nate, final thoughts. What's your score prediction for Saturday?
Ooh, you know what? It said we're going to go positive vibes only. I'll give us a 3-2 win. I think there's going to be scoring. I think I'll say Perez wins it in the 87th minute, 3-2 Loyal.
What about you, John? You got a prediction?
Sure. 3-0.
A 3-0 loss. That's harsh.
We're doing half full here.
Okay. Oh, that's a 3-0 win. Okay. I'm gonna go 2-1. But I don't know who wins. It's gonna be 2-1.
Wow, daring today.
What happened to half full?
I feel like we're going to bounce back. I think, going on the road, playing a team. Have we seen them this year yet? RGV, did they come in? Okay. Did we win? Was that the game where the guy headed the ball in himself? Was that RGV or was that?
I thought that
was Tulsa.
That was Tulsa. Okay, my bad. See, I don't do any research. I just come on and podcast. So, yeah, I think they do bounce back, and I think they respond. Maybe, lighting that fire and having this pressure is what it's going to take to get people to focus and get some of the results that we haven't been getting. So, that's my positive spin on it.
All right.
All right, Nate, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at nwiggins11.
And John?
You can find me on Discord at John Cross.
All right, and I'm on all the apps under my name, Andrew Dyer. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for participating in the chat. Those who did, we appreciate it. And we'll see you next week where we can talk about the 3 points that we just got on the road.